Yo. Today we're gonna be doing another AGR video, and today's gonna be a hard one I had to make, cause honestly it was just too distracting to put down, and honestly I almost forgot to even upload something for AGR. And this is gonna be for Hades. Honestly, I just want to know, is Hades good? I always, seen reviews. I've always heard people talk about Hades. I even had friends beg me to play this to start. When I got to my first run, when you first start up the game and you get in, you know, I eventually died to my first boss and wanted to keep going, but kept dying and dying. And I was just so eager to learn about more about this game and its tech to see what I can do. But honestly, its story was something that honestly I didn't think was gonna captivate me. But not more the primary story of Hades. I mean, well, the Prince of Hades. Uh, but honestly, the side characters. I would say that the side characters, whatever you want to say them, but I want to say their main characters as well. They just had a interesting and very enticing, what's it called, story element where you wanted to keep going out and keep escaping to see more about this dialogue and these characters, how they connect. And when I mentioned that, I mean some characters inside the House of Hades connect with some people outside and have something to tie back to. And honestly, experience is something you have to experience. That in game, honestly. I wouldn't say that the main story is something spoiled based because it's the whole purpose of the roguelite of you trying to escape Hades. But it's kind of, how would I say, like vanilla, almost like basic. It has its purpose, honestly. For the roguelite, you have to continuously leave Hades, so you're gonna die and come back. But honestly, the main story isn't something that very much motivates me to keep playing. If anything, I would say is the actual the whole world of Hades and seeing how these characters connect with some of them having, I guess, a more interesting background than others. But not to spoil too much, because I do think that's an in-game experience you should try. Let me talk about more of the gameplay. And honestly, its gameplay is so fun. And because of it's a roguelite, it's almost never ending, with like two runs never being the same and always having to, get the luck of the gods to see what type of power-ups you can get. And when starting my first run, well, that first one that I died and again I died and died again too, I kind of saw, what's it called, the upgrades almost like a minimal thing, but once you keep playing you understand some gods, I won't lie, are better than others. Me personally, I did like Artemis. Was cool style, honestly. Super, super cool style. And honestly, his power ups are very strong, with damage being its main priority. And I think, you know, it's the main thing in this game. You want to do more damage because you have to go, like any roguelite, going through different dungeons and having to fight different bosses. This game almost gave me like a feel like Moonlighter, if you ever played that, or Binding of Isaac. That's more popular, where you enter these rooms of dungeons and you have to continuously fight these waves in order to get to the next one. I guess that's literally the premise of a roguelike, but these gave me this kind of dungeon bullet hell type of feel when going into these games, with different tiers of the enemy and the different type of, what's it called, attack patterns that they give. It's overwhelming at first, but once you get the hang of it and honestly start understanding what's it called, boons you can get from these gods, it's gonna get pretty easy and pretty fun, because it's not just easy the whole way. It does get to a challenge, and honestly, some gods aren't not that powerful. I mainly think that damage based or defense based gods are gonna be way better than something like almost like the god of the sea, where you honestly only get, like, I guess, currencies, which are good if you're trying to level up, or AOE attacks, which is not the best in my opinion, because like I feel like I want to get something that does more damage to a actual boss, if anything, because the bosses are more, the main problem when you're doing these runs, and we'll get to one of them specifically later. But then honestly, you get these weapons, and starting off with a sword, like I said, it's almost it's well, not like I said, but it's like the story. It's vanilla. It's kind of basic. A sword, it does its purpose to doing good damage and having some good attack patterns. But honestly, it just feels boring in a sense, where you're a god or the prince of a god. Don't you think you want to get something way cooler or way more stronger? So with that, I grinded straight for the spear, and the spear is really good, except for its AOE attack, where you do this the spinning attack. But everything else about it, its range, its its base damage, is really, really good. And when unlocking different weapons, you get this creativity of doing different, what's it called, builds when going into seeing, oh, what gods I want to run for. And more to come when I talk about it. But honestly, these weapons, you start off with 6. And you might think, oh, it's only 6 weapons. You can only do so much. But honestly, it's way more than that. 24 to be exact. Because when defeating the first boss, or buying some of these Titan Bloods throughout the shop, you get an upgrade perk for your actual weapon. And me personally, going for the spear, I thought the spear was going to be my main thing for the most of the run, and it was for the most of the runs, until I got to the shield and the fist. The fist, I would say, is fun, and the shield, I would say, is basically meta, honestly, with his defense of literally blocking every attack. And honestly, when you use the Titan Blood, should I say, you get to choose this Zeus perk where you can throw your spear, throw your, what's it called, your shield, and still have one. So you have basically 2 weapons on the field. And majority of the time, it's a lot of enemies that are going to be attacking you, and you want to keep your weapon. So I would say that was one of my favorites after I discovered that you can even use Titan Blood to upgrade weapons. And there's just so much in this game where, like, the weapons have different builds to different, I guess, attack patterns you can continuously do. For, like, you can keep mashing square or triangle if you wanted, but these patterns that you honestly do can get you combos way more than I would have thought of. But I would say mainly the 3 weapons I personally like was just the spear, the shield priority, mainly now, and the fist, where the fist doesn't do a lot of damage, or not a lot like the other weapons, but it's just too damn fun, where you just piecing people up. Honestly, you're just piecing the bosses up, piecing up, what's it called, mobs and different people around the run, where it just becomes fun. It's a fun weapon, I won't lie. But all the other weapons, like the bow, the gun, the sword, it's kind of mediocre and kind of lowish. But I haven't got too much to play with those because I was just too distracted with the spear, the fist, and the shield. But that's not the only thing that helps you throughout your run. You also get Nyx's power. It's another character in the game that's helping you escape. You get to use her black magic in order to upgrade through this mirror that gives you different, like, passive perks, if anything. It's not too strong where the point where, like, it's kind of like overpowering, except for one, which I went straight for. And that's going to be the multiple lives in your run, because you have the different other perks where you can do more, more damage. You can do, you can gain more health and you can get more coins. But I just feel like they were kind of like I said, they weren't there to help you all the way, but it was a little bit passive in order to, like, push you throughout the run in order to finish. But it was so annoying when you had, like, a good set of boons in your run, and then out of nowhere you just died to the most stupidest crap, honestly. But having those passive upgrades where you had more lives, like revive, was honestly such a game changer, honestly. And that's when I straight went for that, because I already knew I was gonna keep dying and keep failing this run, or the runs ahead. So I wanted to get more lives in order to, like, for sure get a good spot, and go and practice mainly the bosses to get used to them, so I can, like, go through this with ease, honestly. Not only that, but in Hades, right next to him, you have these contractors that help you build, what's it called, I guess, fountains and other stuff, like vases, gold vases for money. And it's very helpful, honestly. You get these currencies for gems in order to actually build these, what's it called, rooms during your run to help you. And it's honestly so grindy, and it's still fun with other, what's it called, perks in the contractors as well. Not perks to help you, but just, I guess, little, like, details so you can decorate the house of Hades, which was kind of contradicting, because how was it that I'm trying to escape Hades and his house, but I'm also decorating as well? That's why for the majority of the time when I did decorate the house, I was just mainly decorating my room, the Prince Z, because, one, it was cool, and also because I was leaving. I'm not gonna come back here, but that's just a part. And having that little, what's it called, that little cosmetic thing just keeps you grinding for something else as well, which makes, again, this game everlasting. If you want to collect everything 100% it, you can. And I forgot to even mention, there is fishing. The fishing in this game, it isn't constant, but you have this opportunity to actually queue to fish during your actual run, where you can get more currencies like the gems or the black magic, where you get these fishes and you turn them back into the actual the chef in the House of Hades. And it's just something that I didn't expect at all. And the only reason I say that's called the God of the Sea is bad because of the AoE attacks, scratch that, because there is this one perk where he gives you infinite fishing, where every single room you can continuously fish and get something good out of it. Because honestly, if you choose that, you can honestly like max grind all the different gems and the black magic if you want to. And okay, I'll give him a boost because of that. And him helping you out to fish makes the game even more fun. But like I said, it's only when prompted to, so you don't honestly get to fish constantly. But still, you can still fish. That's like honestly the best part of the game. Like, come on, fish it. But let's talk about the negatives. Honestly, when mentioning some of the negatives, it was kind of hard to select a few. And because it's going to be mainly opinionated, I do see some of them that I guess, affect everyone in a sense. Well, and this goes for any roguelike. When playing Hades, I did feel kind of burnt out in a sense where I can feel my gas tank almost running down to continue playing. So I gave myself some time to leave the game and then come back to not feel overwhelmed with everything that's about this game, feeling like I've done so much, I don't want to keep going. And that's what led me to keep playing more and more, leaving the game and then coming back to like experienced it when I first got it. And that goes with any roguelike, honestly. So when picking up this game, I do recommend just giving you some time to play it for a couple hours, come back. And I feel like that goes with any game. Let me not say roguelikes. That goes with any game. Because if you really like to enjoy it and enjoy a game, give yourself some time to like not get burnt out of it. Because if not, you're not gonna finish it, and then you're gonna have a backlog like this one. But I'm working on it, so don't worry. And honestly, some nitpicks things I would say about the game. It isn't dramatic things that ruin the game in a sense, but it might for you, honestly, because it might be too difficult. But like anything an enemy can do, like shooting lasers or throwing bombs, honestly, that's, oh my god, the bombs or the poison, the goddamn poison. These three things are just like so like they're like honestly just like drilled in my brain to like know that these things are just horrible. When I see those happens, let's go attack those enemies straight away. But it doesn't ruin the gameplay at all. It just makes the game like how it's meant to be, hard. But it's just so annoying to the point where like you're gonna die because of these actions. If either you run into lava and you don't have enough dashes to get out, you're gonna die from not just from the lava, but leaving the lava and draining so much health, or poison draining you where you can't get the cure for it because it's still loading in, or lasers shooting you from across the map and you can't do anything, not even with the goddamn spear, because the spear doesn't do enough damage to kill it in one shot. It's honestly annoying, but it makes the game hard and challenging where you have to, I guess, learn to adapt to what's going on. And that's what makes this game even better. You think you're gonna get good, or you think you're getting better and progressively understanding this game, and then it shoots you back down to zero. Like, hey, you don't know. Let's start over again. Let's learn about all these basics of freaking bombs, lava, and lasers with poison. Like, it's annoying. And honestly, the bosses aren't hard. They're honestly fun. Like the first wave boss and the second one, that's called the bone snake thing, the Hydra. But it's just, even the last boss, I won't spoil it, but the last boss is fun and it's challenging. It gives you a challenge to keep going back. But the third boss, it's Thesis and this bull thing. Honestly, it's not hard. It's annoying, one in actual gameplay sense and like character. When I mean that, I mean like Thesis is just so cocky and so arrogant where like he thinks he's better than us. But honestly, he's the easiest one to fight. If anything, I'll give more prompts to the bull thing, character aura points, if you want to call it, just because he honestly gives you your one throughout the run in the third map. But Thesis, he is so cocky and so arrogant where he thinks like he's doing so much damage, he's purposely killing you. But honestly, one, he's shooting you with a spear from far away and a shield, so you can't really attack him face on, and he calls gods. Like, honestly, it's three things that are horrible about this character, and then on top of that, he has another partner doing damage to you. The other partner, the bull, is honestly fun with this. It has a tag pattern being so like easy to pick up on, but if you're too cocky, you're gonna get hit, and he does a lot of damage. But Thesis, he's trash. Honestly, he's honestly annoying and stupid. So if you kill him, you gotta teabag him after you win. But I would say that's mainly it. There isn't a lot of to hate on Hades, and honestly, its rating that shows on the back of the box is, I guess, the rating everybody should give it. The grading on the back of the box isn't a grade I would give it, though it is pretty much up there. I would personally give it a 9 out of 10 because I feel like there are some features which I wish were there but aren't. And not to go too much in depth, like one feeling like a multiplayer would definitely elevate it, or uh, there is challenges where like you have a reason to keep going back even if you complete the whole story, of giving you hindering you with like more damage to like enemies do to you, less health and stuff like that. And it does give you a challenge, don't get me wrong, but I feel like almost like a DLC type of sense where you finish a story and then there's something else with these characters that you have to follow, maybe doing side quests, and I guess to feel more immersed in this world and not just feel like you're in a bubble of Zacharias and you're just trying to escape and find out the calling that you're going for. But with that, I do think this game is a 9 out of 10. 9.5 if anything. It's really close to a 10 out of 10. I just want to be more, I guess, picky in what I give 10 out of 10s, because like I can't just give it to a roguelite just because it has, so much content in it and like everlasting gameplay, because then that means every roguelite is a 10 out of 10. But I'm trying to be a little bit more nitpicky with everything, and with that, I think a 9.5 is a great rating for this game, with honestly enough content to keep you distracted or based on this game forever. So I'll see you on the next one, and peace.